Hello, my darlings. Welcome to Queenie's Corner. This is Queenie here, talking to you all the way from London. That's right, my darlings. All the way from merry old England. Now, I have a little bit of a secret for you, a confession, if you will. And that is that I am insanely jealous of my American buddies across the pond. And here's why. For those of you who don't know, or perhaps have never heard of this, it is illegal to protect yourself in the United Kingdom. Oh, you heard me correctly. It is illegal to protect oneself. You see, even things like pepper spray is illegal. Doesn't matter if you're a vulnerable young woman, perhaps, and you come across a group of 5 rapists. Not only are you outnumbered, not only are they stronger than you, it doesn't matter, you should be able to fight them off with your bare hands. Doesn't matter if they have knives even. You still should be able to fight them off with your bare hands. You see, it doesn't matter what the criminals have, doesn't matter. You don't matter. So, talking about protecting yourself, another point I'd like to make is if an intruder comes into your home and you end up killing that person because of self-defense, you are put in prison. Oh, you heard me correctly again. You are thrown in jail. Because it's seen as excessive force. It doesn't matter if you have elderly in the house. Doesn't matter if you are elderly. Doesn't matter if you have children asleep while this intruder has come into your home. Doesn't matter that you don't know what the intruder's intent is. Whether they're there to kidnap your children or sexually assault them. You don't know if they're a paedophile, you don't know if they're there to harm you. In fact, they shouldn't be there at all, let's face it. If they're committing the crime, then they ought to expect some response. But given that, if you end up killing this person because you are protecting your children, or you're protecting yourself, yeah, you are thrown in jail. Doesn't matter that the criminal shouldn't have been there in the first place. You see, this is why I'm for the Second Amendment in America. We were stupid to give up our arms. That's something that never should have happened. Unfortunately now, putting the Second Amendment or implementing the Second Amendment in England or in the United Kingdom would be a disaster. The reason why, and according to one of the polls by the Times, or at least I believe it's the Times, I'll double check that for you later, but according to the poll, we have 23,000, that's 23,000 people here who are known to the authorities, who want to kill, who want to commit mass murder like we saw in the Manchester Arena attack. Oh, that's right, 23,000 people who want to commit mass murder. You saw the damage one did. But we can't deport them. No. You see, under EU law, with their insane human rights laws, we can't deport these people. We have to cater to them. We have to give them houses. We have to give them free health care. Doesn't matter that everybody else's lives are in danger. You see, this country protects its criminals and disarms its people. We have no form of protection because it's illegal to defend ourselves. You see, over in America, the reason why a Second Amendment actually works over there is because you've never given it up. And I beg you not to give that right up. Because if a burglar comes into your home in America, they don't know if you have a bigger gun. If some catastrophe happens, or if the government turns into tyranny, that's your last line of defence. When it's illegal to protect your own life, you have no defence. Now, people who are advocating to take the Second Amendment away, I'm sitting here without the Second Amendment currently. I'm sitting here where I can't even have pepper spray in a city where 2 acid attacks are committed every single day. Where in a city where you're more likely to be raped than you are in New York, in a city where you're more likely to receive an acid attack than you are in Islamabad. But you can't have pepper spray, no. No. You see, again, your skin is bulletproof. Didn't you know that? Of course, I'm being very sarcastic there. Now, you may say, oh, but we don't have gun violence. The funny thing is, we do. Yes, it's more than likely gang-related, but they do get hold of the guns still. Guns are here, whether it's legal or not. They get them on the black market. So therefore, gun laws do not work. I'm sitting here in a country with gun laws, and I'm telling you, it doesn't work. Okay, we don't hear about them so much, but I tell you what we do hear about: stabbings. The violence doesn't change, you see, the weapon changes. A law is going to be broken regardless. They'll just find another way. I find it utterly repulsive when they use a tragedy or when they use any sort of crime to try and take away a person's right to defend their own life. You see, over here, and again, to those of you who do not know, our police are not armed. Now, there was a particular policeman who, when the London Bridge attackers came, went and confronted them armed with only a baton. This man was a black policeman by the name of Wayne Marks. Wayne Marks should be honoured for his courage, for his utter selflessness, and for his heroics. Now, had Wayne Marks been armed, Wayne Marks didn't come off lightly. He was stabbed in the head and the face. There were 3 of them and 1 of him. Now, if he'd have been armed, how many lives could he have saved? How many? It's ridiculous that our policemen are not armed. If we cannot protect ourselves, if it is illegal for us to protect our own lives, the people who are entrusted with protecting us, i.e. the Metropolitan Police, should be able to protect us. They should be armed. Wayne Marks was a very brave man. There was another policeman by the name of Keith Palmer. Keith Palmer, unfortunately, was murdered at the Westminster attack. He made the ultimate sacrifice. But just imagine, for a moment, if he'd have been armed, how different that situation could have been. How many lives could he have saved? Because he wasn't the only one to die that day. To the fools out there who say, oh, violence isn't the answer, blah, blah, blah. Let me put this to you. If somebody carries out a premeditated attack with the intention of taking as many lives as they possibly can, what is better? To arm our police so that they have the ability and the means to take away the 1 life, or to allow the terrorist or the attacker to take as many lives as they possibly can, including policemen, including children, including whoever? Which is better? Having the ability to stop an attack, and bearing in mind that could actually act as some form of deterrent. Okay, you're never going to stop it. You are never going to stop it. We will, as Sadiq Khan now says, it's just part and parcel of living in a big city. Well, I say no. I say, instead of being so blasé about it, instead of, not condemning it, as Sadiq Khan doesn't do something about it. Arm our police, give us the opportunity. Because if we can't protect ourselves because it's illegal, again, our policemen should be able to. We have a very small armed unit that cannot possibly cover the entire country. And it's unpredictable when these attacks or when this type of thing happens. You can't predict these things. So isn't it better to arm our police so that if they are there at the time, they can do something about it. To the people who say, oh, violence isn't the answer, in situations where you've got a terror attack, I believe in shoot to kill. Shoot to kill, otherwise these people will kill a lot more. Stop them dead. Stop them. You see, policemen should be armed here, as I stated earlier. If it's illegal to protect ourselves, why aren't they able to protect us? And that's not any fault of the policemen. It's the fault of our government. And the reason why, and this will make you sick as well, PC Keith Palmer, again, who should be honoured, who absolutely gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect people. The reason why he wasn't armed, despite the fact that he was a Westminster police, so he stands outside Houses of Parliament guarding it, is because the people in Parliament decided it was taking too long for them to get through security. So they took away the armed police. Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like the people shouldn't have any defence whatsoever. Not even their policemen should be able to defend them. What are they on? And the last thing you Americans want is for the government to take away the rights. Now, I do believe there was a situation, I think it was in Texas, I'm not entirely sure. I applaud policemen who shoot dead criminals. It's a shame ours cannot do the same. Now, people who are listening to this are probably just saying, oh yeah, it's just Islamophobic or what have you. No, these are actual events. I don't think by saying that PC Keith Palmer should have been able to have defended himself and helped protect others by having a gun is a racist thing or an Islamophobic thing. Those people who say those kinds of things are brain dead. They're utterly brain dead. Now, let's go to Pulse, the horrendous, terrible attack that happened in Pulse, the gay nightclub. Perhaps if somebody was able to carry, that person would have been shot dead straight away. See, I would actually applaud America for keeping the Second Amendment. I'm sitting here, as I said, without it, feeling defenceless. America, please keep the Second Amendment. Do not become like Europe. It is a wrong way to go. We are not a shining example. And do not listen to the myths of, we have multiculturalism. We do not have multiculturalism. What we have is pockets of people who don't integrate, who bring their race wars, who bring their wars over here and their hatred towards each other over here. Do not believe the lies that we are a utopia, because we are far from it. We're looking at America, who are the shining lights of the West, to keep Western values, to uphold Western values and protect Western values. Now, I don't care if someone is pink, blue, purple, green or grey, what have you. I don't care. It's all to do with value. And I'm telling you, you need to be able to protect yourselves. And I'm not just saying it's against just terrorists, but on a personal level. On a personal level. I cannot protect myself on a personal level. It's illegal for me to do so. Do not become like us. Do not become like us. Do not follow us as an example. Yes, perhaps there is a little bit of hope should we get Brexit. Perhaps there is a little bit of hope there, but I'll hold my breath. I'll wait for that, because until it happens, unfortunately, we're in the same boat. America has got the Second Amendment right. They've got their First Amendment right. Free speech must also be upheld. When they start policing your speech, when they start policing what opinions you're allowed to have, which they've been doing for a little while now, because let's face it, if you want to go into the entertainment industry, if you don't think a certain way, you're ostracised. You're not allowed. Same goes across the board for any workplace. If, it's becoming more and more, if you don't think this way, you can't get a job. It's becoming more and more like 1984 as we go along. But this is your golden opportunity, America. This is your golden opportunity to fight back. This is your golden opportunity to stand up for your rights and keep them. Do not let the left bully you. Again, I will challenge any left-wing idiot to talk to me about taking away the Second Amendment. Because as I stated earlier, you won't stop it. Gun laws do not work. We are an example of that. The weapon just changes. The laws are still broken. The fact that we can't even have pepper spray. There's an agenda to leave the people defenceless. Anyone who is, and I hate to quote this word, but anyone who is woke, as it were, will know exactly what I'm on about there. But under no circumstances do you give up your rights. To those people in America who do not support the Second Amendment and who do not believe that people should have the right to defend themselves, how about you tell that to the 82-year-old woman by the name of Palmyra Silver, who was decapitated outside of her North London home, bearing in mind that her attacker had been actively searching through back gardens for a victim, for someone to kill. Unlike America, we don't have the Second Amendment, but imagine if we did. Imagine if there was a neighbour or someone close to the situation that could have prevented that from happening. Imagine if that lady could have been alive today because we would be able to defend ourselves. Imagine if people had the opportunity to defend themselves. America, you have that opportunity. Don't throw it away. Keep it. All right, my darlings. This is the Queen with Political Blackout. Ta-ta, darlings.